Hi, Lindsay. It's debhelfrich.squarespace.com, your pal from the Brain Foundation Synchrony Symposium 23. I'm still working on getting people to listen to me about consciousness. Use the philosopher's tools. So I am a Carnegie Mellon degreed philosopher, and I've sorted the hard problem of consciousness into an easy pivot. And I've done so at such a level that the theories and hypotheses that I've used also gives us a theory of integrated body, mind, soul human functioning. It's a physiological basis, and in fact, I like to call my theory quantum physiology, solving for consciousness. And using the quantum, I'm telling you, hard physics. I'm going to be known someday, I think, hope. I'm working towards very diligently, which is why I'm reaching out to you. An exquisite philosopher of physiology. From lived experience outward, from incredible savant skills of interoception. But I'm also extraordinarily autistic right now. That's why I need your help. After we talked for a while and, bumped into each other over the conference through the roundtable you did on transcranial magnetic stimulation, which was the height of the conference for me as far as I'm concerned, because I'm the globe's original consulting philosopher of bio-electromagnetism. I'm putting the dash in for the philosophical hypothesis, but this is science. This is the science. It's right around the corner. I know you can feel it. Now, there's a journal of bioelectricity, but we need it out in the zeitgeist because another one of my intellectual properties is I'm going to turn the placebo effect into placebo tools, right? Not the philosopher's stone, the philosopher's tools. Sound truly can change our life. The sounds that come out of our mouth, exponentially powerful. Like this. This is a right livelihood intervention. Lindsay, at dinner one night, you said to me, and I quote, and can I use this quote? I just don't want to stop talking to you. It's so much fun, right? I've got a complete, complex, concise, coherent theory of consciousness. I see the physicist's toe, and I counter with a poetic, a philosophy of everything that is conscious. So from the mind of a bee, to the soul of an octopus, to the genius of birds, everywhere I look, the philosophical hypothesis, Planta sapiens, as I referenced in the email. Now, you had said to me, I should look into your previous advisor, Dr. Ramachandran. His book, Telltale Brain, came at me on Friday, and it just felt so right. If he would take a moment and have a conversation with me and understand my theory of consciousness, so that I can talk to my local Rinpoche about being able to, here's somebody in the current Western tradition who will validate, and my theory does, very much so, align with not just Tibetan Buddhism, African ancestral wisdom as well. His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, I learned from these people. Also, you want to see my direct prior, Jane Goodall. I really have the potential, by the power vested in me in being the missing autistic human between Temple Grandin, Hannah Gatsby, and Greta Thunberg. I'm the professor, stand-up philosopher of social impact. My work as a philosopher blends all those three women. I can have so much impact. But right now, I can't have even one basic conversation about saving my life. I'm in the kind of predicament only an autistic human can be in. I am just going through cycles of meltdown and shutdown. I got the tools, but the environment is getting worse and worse and worse. I can really tell us, the power vested in me by Jane Goodall, The ape I've observed is Homo sapiens sapiens. I'm going to get us our second knowing back as a philosopher, the philosophical method. And my specific spin on it, evolutionary logic plus love intertwined, taking the baton from Darwin, there's a little bit missing, fixing the Cartesian split, and explaining how, if humans are part of the universe, and I think we do kind of, quantum has been proven. How do we think about ourselves in terms of quantum physiology? And I've got a good answer for the question, if we are 99% genetically identical to chimpanzees and bonobos, how come we're 100% more willing to self-extinct our species? Taking along a significant percentage of advanced terrestrial life, it won't be planet of the apes. It's going to be planet of the orcas. So if we're taking out our ability to be on the terrestrial part of Earth, we're taking a lot of species with us. Let's not do that. Let's think it through. The actual global thought experiments is why I like to call myself the she Einstein of consciousness. She Nikola Tesla of bio-electromagnetism, and there's more and there's more and more. It's a stage show. You see, as a philosopher, she Socrates of life-centric thinking. That's my proprietary IP. I'll pull the focus, Lindsay. I'm info dumping. I'm trying to be quick. Be mindful of your attention. But a conversation at a more reasonable pace, you, Professor Ramachandran, whoever else he'd like to include, David Danks. He's in the philosophy department. He was the head of the philosophy department at Carnegie Mellon. I went and talked to him and he blew me off. I'm going to UCSD. Also, Professor Mutri, Alison Mutri, the brain organoids, my theory of consciousness. Explains why plants are conscious, all of the intelligence of mammals and birds and life. Invertebrates, octopuses, bees. You can't reverse engineer from consciousness, assuming humans are very different. But just one evolutionary step. What is that? Where is that 1% genetic difference? I gotta record Zoom, and I'll give it to you. Lindsay, I need your help to bring the wise feminine, to help me not be so autistic, to help me use the wisdom that I keep saying to myself, okay, how can we give a theory of consciousness which belongs to all 8 billion humans, not to just the rich white people who seem to have no concern for most of the humans on the planet? How do we get it out to everyone? Well, it's the Dalai Lama's Mind and Life Conference. I've got the way in through the Tibetan Buddhism system to get to the right person to give my presentation to. But I need to go with a few Western minds willing to say, give her a shot. She's on to something. So I am bio-electromagnetism. It's the next neuroscience. And it includes physiology. And the brain is just part of physiology. Where does conscious, how does it arise? Everyone find the terms so that we can't possibly provide a solution. Even the Big Bang. Give us one miracle. I need 0 miracles. Give me one known, and I can explain all life on Earth. It's a pretty cool trick, huh? It takes an autistic brain, but as you know, the greatness, the savant skills come at the cost of not being able to do certain normal everyday things and literally not being able to do them. Not pretending, not, I just can't put on my big girl pants and change my life at the snap of other people's fingers, which is all, I can't get help. We don't have an accurate conception of what autism really is. I've redefined autism. Tried to sell that to the Brain Fountain. You could help me. Who can I talk to? It wouldn't give me a conversation. Autism, sorting the hard problem of autism into an easy pivot. It's environmental trauma stress disorder, ETSD. Use polyvagal theory, use all of the trauma healing from Gabor Mate, Stephen Levine. We got to integrate things. Everyone's in niches. You know this. Who's got the synthesizing mind? This Carnegie Mellon degree philosopher who needed a concept of consciousness to stay alive. I've used my brain, my mind, to stay alive for almost 5 years of destitution. Complete and utter. No money coming in. Can't get too autistic to work, too autistic to conceive of navigating. I know how to live in the U.S. of hypocrisy with no money. That's ancestral wisdom foraging. Way back past 10,000 years of agriculture. Same human. The Dalai Lama says this all the time. Same human. Me, every one of the 8 billion humans, same human. That's my theory. My catchphrase is going to be, we are all African, ancestrally. Free thinking is priceless. Lindsay, I need your help. I need a little bit of how to contextualize this and this performance, this creativity. It's concentric thinking. You can't get to a solution of consciousness using linear thinking. Can't do it. You have to come at this in a very creative, you have to get rid of a lot of Cartesian splits and various things. It's mostly cleaning up things, because my theory is very simple, which is why I use this creativity and a bit of she-spinxing, not to give it all out there for free on the internet, so it can be used in the way that's the default of this civilization, which is to harm the global majority and keep just a few people